Starting in just a second, guys. Okay, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day on this. I don't even know what day it is. I think it's the 25th. That's about right. 25th of June, 2023. If you're new to my channel, we're here at my house, the Mavis Pharmacy. We're going to go feed the chickens, but the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the weather. Current weather is about 72 degrees or 22 C. It's been crazy weather, lots of storms. Yeah, lots of storms really is probably the best way to put it. Just rain, rain, rain. And it's nice today. Unfortunately, we really wanted to get in there and do a bee inspection. We're gonna peek at the bees today, but it's just there's too much of a chance of it raining while I'm doing the bees, and the bees are not happy when I do that. So let's spin my camera around, say hi to you guys. So by the way, guys, I got my new hat. So the hats are, I don't have the website up yet, but the X-Doctor Firefly hats, they will be available very soon. If you get on the Discord now, discord.gg/X-Doctor-Firefly, you can get on there and chat with us, and we can. I'll send you a link to where to acquire the hats that way. But I'm gonna be putting up a page soon. But I thought you guys check them out. They're cool. Nice orange hats with 37 on the orange and blue, with 37 on the side. Very nicely made. This is embroidered in. So, anyways, enough about the hats. Let's continue on. I don't know where Lisa is at. I think she's probably in the barn. But we're going to do a quick little tour of this. I'm going to see if Lisa needs any additional help, and then we're going to, after do that, we're going to go for a little walk out into the garden and such. Lisa's out there feeding all of the ducks and chickens. Lisa, what would you like me to get? Okay, I'll find it. Okay. Going on the quest to find the other water container. I don't know where it is right now. I found it. Oh, in the gardens. And there we go. It looks like we're reconnected now. I'm gonna set you guys right here for just a second so I can water. So one of the things that we found is this side water things is really easy to carry for us. So we have our jug. So I have a cistern. Right back there is where my cistern is that holds lots of gardens. It's spring water fed and it's rainwater fed. And then what I do is I come over here, and when I walk away, you guys will be able to see it. I'll spin around. We have a tub right there that we use from the cistern. We fill that up with water, and it makes it easier for us to feed and water everyone when we do it like that. So I'm going to put this water right here for Lisa. Let's go get we're going to go over and get some food for her. I'm going to show you guys. The bees are doing as well, so the bees are doing well. But we have a lot of guys swarming in right now. That's why it makes me think that the rain is going to be coming. For those that follow the Mavis Pharmacy site, if you're curious where the other camera is, you can see the camera there. Or if you happen to be watching this on Kick, when you see that there is when we're showing the live farm, that's actually where the camera is. So let's continue on. And large plastic bottles, interesting. That would be interesting. Bees don't normally like plastic, but I'd be really interested to see that. It's a very interesting. It does seem like a very interesting way to keep bees. I think the wooden boxes that we have, the bees seem to be pretty happy with those. But I'm really to the point where however somebody thinks is a good way to have bees and having bees thrive in your particular area, it's definitely something that you should do. So this year, if you guys are not aware, this year in the United States, we had I think it was like a 48% bee loss of all the colonies. So I lost actually 100% of my bees last year. But nationwide, it was about a 48%. The second highest in like last 60 years since we've been recording keeping track of bees and such like that. So, very interesting. Less costly. Interesting. With bees, once I have everything set up, we'll walk over there in just a second. Let me drop this off over with Lisa. But once I started raising, once you have the equipment and such for the bees, it's really not that costly after that to keep adding stuff and letting them reuse and recycle. But I can see how the initial startup cost would be very nice to have, to be able to save in that initial cost, because that initial startup cost when you get into raising bees is really one of the bigger things that you have to worry about. Bunnies. Let's peek in here and say hi to Homer. So, two of our bunnies just chilling out in there. That's Homer, and that is our oldest bunny right there. This one right there, that is Stu. Stu and Homer. Stu happens to be one of our very first rescue bunnies that we acquired when we had to rescue bunnies and stuff. What happening with the neighbors? So it's cool to still have one years ago. I couldn't even tell you, to be honest. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head how many years ago that was. We rescued the bunnies. Okay, so I got food and water. I'll show you guys. Food and water here sitting for Miss Lisa. Food and water here for Miss Lisa, ready to go. We got bunny food and that. So let's continue on over this way. You know, if you're skilled, building these boxes actually aren't as difficult. So this is a 10 frame that we're looking at right here. That's a 10 frame. I have an 8 frame right here. The reason why you see this metal is I think 5G is affecting these bees. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting them in, like, you know, kind of like their own little Faraday cage. We're going to make an attempt. We're going to see what that does going into the fall. Right now with all the leaves and such, those cell towers, move over just a little bit so you can see them all. So those cell towers aren't really affecting the bees. Mostly I also have them set up so that tree is blocking them. Some of the little trees are blocking them, and they're kind of down at an angle. So I'm hoping that makes a difference. But we're going to be putting the bees. I'm going to paint that up and put the bees inside there in the very near future. So let's continue on to look at. Oh, let me show you. This is I was going to show you guys. These are a nuke. These are the smaller ways of raising bees. These guys are doing pretty good in here too. I did not, when I went last week when we did the bee inspection, I did not find the queen in here, but I did find that they were laying lots of there was eggs in here, so there is a queen in here. We just did not find her. Okay. I can really smell a lot of honey. Okay.
Now I would have had feathers, there's no way to get in there. Fox would have taken it away. A possum would eat the abdomen or something like that. The raccoon would have done something else also.
Okay.
Vicious weasel. We have weasels.
Okay, so at least I put some bunny food in the water over by the Riverside apartment, so I'll come back and help you with that in just a minute. So let's continue on. We're going to continue on back here. We're going to go over to the market garden, the just-in-time garden, and over into the Three Sisters. Let's say hi to Miss Sylvia since we're standing over this way. Hello, Miss Sylvia. How you doing, Piggy Piggy? Yeah, doing just fine. We're going down the back path. Have to do some trimming of some of these trees this year. You might be wondering, why is there a big white fence here? That is so just in case Sylvia would get out. This kind of deters her from continuing on this way, at least until I get a back gate back here. Ooh. The blackberries are getting close to being ready. Well, that's cool. We're gonna have lots of blackberries on this this blackberry patch I've been fostering here for the last couple of years, allowing it to grow up here. So some fruit trees. These two are nectarines. That little fruit tree right there is a wild fruit tree, came purely on its own. So it'll be interesting to see what it turns into. It'll be a few years. So up there is a few more fruit trees. I need to get in here with the scythe and just really clean this up. But we've got just a different type of, most everything here was grown from seed, except for those two, which are, what are those? Mulberries. Lots of clover down this path. So you guys can see the hayfield is absolutely pretty much ready to go. Beautiful, beautiful day. Even though it is supposed to storm, just a short period of time. Still a absolutely beautiful day here on the farm. So we're gonna peek up here. I want to show you guys the carrots. And there's lots of weeds growing in here because I needed to figure out which were the carrots and which were not. So here is these are the carrots. You can see the carrots. Oh, no, you can't because I need to build this down a little bit. Okay, so yeah, you can see the carrots right here. There's some clover. I'll let the clover, but I need to get rid of some of this grass. And the reason I've let some of this other stuff, some of these other weeds get to this particular point is they need to positively identify the weeds. Because once you positively identify weeds, weeds will tell you a whole lot of information about what is happening on with your soil. And so getting in here and instead of just doing a soil test, coming in here and as I pull out the weeds, identifying them and getting a good idea if I need to add more to the soil or take Fukuuma. He was a Japanese permaculturist. He absolutely specialized in identifying the plants in your soil so that you knew the pros and cons, the pluses and minuses of what was happening in your soil. So planted a few more fruit trees right there in the center of this. So it'll be very interesting. So hey Luke, hope you're having a wonderful day. I saw that you chatted, so I thought I'd say hello. So let's continue on over this way. So right between these bottles and this way, I have some sunflowers. I don't see any coming up just yet. Right through here. Ooh. Okay, so I do want to tell you, I do believe, let's zoom in right here. I think this is something I want to be growing here, so I have to spend a little bit more time checking it out to see what it is. But so these were supposed to be right up here. Those were supposed to be watermelon, but I don't think the watermelon is doing well. But right here, if you look, you can see here and right through the center. If we go kind of right through the center right here, those are going to be loofahs. So I got plenty of loofahs going right through the center here. In the black down here, I've got some cabbages that I started from seed growing in there. This is where I just need to do some more planting and such like that. I absolutely should make a map. You are completely true. Right now, I'm just kind of winging it. So here is, if you want to look here, here's some of the corn. So you can see from that, some corn, some corn, some corn. Might dig up some stuff next to it, but all of these rows with the metal, they're all supposed to have some corn and such like that growing in it. So we'll see how that ultimately turns out. I planted some cabbage right here, and there's nothing coming up. And I planted some mustard seed, no mustard seed, and more cabbage, no cabbage. But I planted kale, and if you look, the kale is absolutely doing well throughout here. So I might actually come and plant some more kale over in the spots that kale died back on. And as you see, more corn. I need to, like we said, I need to get in here and do a little bit more weeding of stuff. He's been chewing on some of the corn here. Right here I planted some marigolds, but I really only see one of the marigolds popping up. So that's okay. Again, it's always about, I'm just trying a bunch of stuff that I've never grown here before or never grown in these particular spots. And I do want to show you this. This is doing very well. This is doing what it's supposed to be doing. So we've got a lot of beans growing right here. Right there is the one that's right there. That is a zucchini. And some more beans and a zucchini popping up between them right there. And so the zucchini and the beans in this particular row are doing very well. So let's get back up here so we can see. So you can see the zucchinis and the beans are doing very well in this particular row. So, yeah, unfortunately, Luke, it is still not legal to grow plant medicines of the marijuana persuasion here. But one day, if that becomes legal, that plant medicine would totally be useful. And I have grown tobacco here, but this year actually would have been really bad for growing tobacco. Tobacco is actually a really good plant to grow on the edges of your garden to keep pests away, but because of the seasons that we're having, tobacco would have not been as beneficial because of the crazy fluxes in temperature and such, and with all the rain. So here is some of the German squash. Plants are doing okay. This one's doing very well. And this other one up here is doing very well. A little yellow. Got some speculations on why that's happening, but other than that, it's doing very well. Got some tomatoes growing up here. And some more of the German squash, German pumpkins. My potato patch in here is absolutely crazy weed covered, but with the potatoes I don't worry so much about that. There is you are right, ducks absolutely do love kale. That's why I'm going to try to grow a little bit more. They also like horseradish right here. We've got some horseradish and some more horseradish, a nice big patch of horseradish growing there as well. My asparagus, you can zoom in and we can see one of the asparaguses there, and then all throughout here I have asparaguses planted, but I do need to come in here and chop down some of the other stuff. Here's another asparagus, and keep getting that really nice and fertilized so that the asparaguses thrive in there. Some more tomatoes in this upper area. This is one of my dad's tactics. He really likes to put the black down, which is really good for tomatoes. So here is my three sisters. It is not doing quite as well as I was hoping, but I do want to show you. This one is, the peas are doing what they're supposed to do here. So let me move you guys right here so I can show you guys what's going on with the three sisters. So we have the corn. So we have two corn stalks, and then right here we have the peas, and this pea is just going up and growing up here. We've got another one right here. This one is, these peas are growing like crazy. You can see that the peas have been browsed, but the peas are doing well. My mistake is I think I planted the squash zucchini a little late, because it was supposed to help fill in these little gaps. So you see, like between, I'll give an example. We can zoom up here because I'll show you one that's growing. So there is the zucchini growing, but it is actually supposed to be growing more in here. I probably waited a little late in the season to plant that, so I might have to come in here and actually weed this. But some of the corn, like some corn right here, these corns are doing very well. Those are definitely going to be knee-high by the 4th of July. They seem to be doing very well on the mound. And then I have a few other ones that are just not quite doing as well. But the upside is even here where the corn isn't doing well, the peas are absolutely taken off and they're doing well. So even if one plant isn't thriving, other ones around it are. And once I get in here and do some weeding and such like that, I'll actually be leaving all of the clover, and what I'll be doing is taking out the thorn apples, the little thorny plants right here, because I don't actually want them growing in here. They're not benefiting me at all. But the clover here is actually benefiting this, so I will be going through here and working on rather soon. So that's maybe I'll live stream that. Or if you guys want to follow me on Discord, discord.gg/xdrfirefly, and you guys can follow me there. And we do a lot of live stuff when I don't always do the live stuff in the streaming shows. We talk. There's a pretty good group of people. We talk about stuff on there. So if you're new and you want to check out that, that's cool. My hat looks so cool. So happy about my hat. It's such a cool. Turned out so good. Anyway, so let's go for a walk. Let's go down. We're gonna head down that way. We're gonna go check out the elderberries, and then after we check out the elderberries, we'll swing back around and make sure everything with Lisa is going well. Where we're going to be heading, guys, is we are going to be heading to about right there, that patch of elderberries right there. Every year trying something a little new, a little different. I'm actually pretty happy with how things have turned out so far in the gardens this year. I would have liked a few more things to come in, but it's not absolutely too late in the year to try a couple more experiments of stuff. So I'm gonna probably, it might be tonight or it might be more likely tomorrow. I'm gonna jump on here and we're gonna plant a few more seeds. See, get some stuff, get some ideas of some, if I plant stuff like, late June, what it actually looks like. See how that all actually works out and turns out and such. Well, maybe tomorrow evening. I usually like to do my planting in the evenings because I'm not a morning person, so I'm not getting up early. I'm definitely not doing it during the day because we have some interesting chores to do. Well, we have some adventures to do tomorrow. We have to go to our weekly adventure to help restock our mercantile tent, our flat top mercantile tent, which we will be live streaming from there in the near future once we get that set up and functioning a little bit better. We'll talk more about that in the near future as well. So here is the first little patch of elderberries that we have. The flowers are all completely bloomed out, look lovely. Yeah, a little bit of a smell. They're not the most fragrant of things, but this little patch here, didn't even know this patch existed. I'm very happy to have this patch here. We're heading over to the big one because that's really the patch I've been fostering for the last few years, trying to get it to be exactly what I want. Easy picking, easy way to collect elderberries. The chokecherry tree. This is very good for making cough medicine, but the chokecherries, there's going to be plenty of them for when the cherries are ready in August is roughly when chokecherries are ready. It's a nice windy day. Little, I don't know if you guys can tell, but a little tiny bit of haze, just because it really feels like it's about it feels like it's about to rain in just a bit. So So, looking very vibrant, very full. Easy pickings with the way it kind of slopes down here. Should be able to get all of those. Ooh, this is cool. I'm not sure I didn't notice these before, but these are really cool. So we're going to zoom down here and look at these cool little white flowers that the bees are zooming in. I'll have to come out here later and identify what those are because I actually don't know. Grass is about ready to be harvested. You do want to wait till most of the seeds fall out because you want the grass to reseed itself. And it looks like we're about at that stage. So we might get the sickle bar mower up and see if we can get it working. And I'm also probably going to be doing a little bit of scything because I want to see kind of do it the old-fashioned way and see what happens if I scythe part of the field as well. So a combination between farm equipment and doing it the old-fashioned way with the scythe, and see how easy that is and what that was like. Because you never know. In a lot of situations, you know, like we had last year where the farming equipment broke and such. So being able to do hay, having all the different options, ways to do hay, it's something that's very important to know, so that you have every base covered. Because the last thing you want is to not be able to have a giant hay field and not be able to utilize the hay for multiple years in a row. So 1 year is actually not harmful, but if we had to wait multiple years and not being able to harvest it, that would. So I'm also I'm hoping going to build a non-mechanical, maybe non-electrical, non-diesel run baler. I've seen some really interesting plans which I'm going to put those plans in farming on Discord. Again, guys, if you want to check that out, you guys can check out those on Discord. Since I'm over here, we're going through the backside. Let's peek on the frogs first. And then after we peek on the frogs, I'm going to walk over and just see if there just happens to be in the emergency hive. So, I see some tadpoles, nothing too exciting. So I'm not really seeing any movement out of this hive. This was a hive I was just trying to see if I could revitalize or do anything with. Couple dedicated guys, but all in all, yeah, kind of what I expected. It was a interesting experiment to try. And here we are, back in our little circle. We're back here by the waterfront apartments. Buddy's jamming out to some music. Well, guys, I want to thank you for going on this fun adventure with me. Again, guys, next episode I'll have a link if you guys are interested in purchasing one of my cool hats. I'm gonna have another style as well. This is the original. This is the OG. This is the OG style because I really wanted the blue and the orange. So, but the other one will have the new one we're making is called the duck. So it's more of a dark colored hat with a yellow bill. But again, you guys will see that. So if you guys are interested, there'll be a link probably down in the description in the future for doing that. Just know that if you do end up buying the house, you do end up getting a hat. 100% of the purchase of the hat goes towards the farm that you guys just saw me do. So, and yeah, so hopefully one day coming up very soon, we will get to do a full bee inspection. I'll be able to get into the beehives. We'll do a full bee inspection that really needs to happen and such like that. But right now, with not knowing what the weather's going to be, don't really want to risk it. So anyways, friends, it's Doc. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you want to follow us on Discord, it's discord.gg. It's xDrFirefly. It's xDrFirefly everywhere. And if you want one of these hats, just hit me up later, and I'll give you a link. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you guys probably as soon as Tuesday. Till tomorrow, it's Doc. Adios.